Hello everybody and welcome to Total Space. We are now live on YouTube. We're not live on Odyssey, but if you're watching this back later on Odyssey, we appreciate you guys on Odyssey and some exclusive content is coming soon. I'm another Space Nut, also known as ASN or Nut, and today I'm joined by my special guest host, Stinger NSW. Would you like to say hello to the folks, Stinger?
Yeah, thanks for having me on the Total Space Network, Aaron. Yeah, thank you. My first one.
Well, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you could join us for this monumental Soyuz launch. We are seeing a film crew launch the International Space Station today aboard the Soyuz 2.1A. Exciting stuff. What do we think?
Yeah, well, following on from Inspiration 4, we've got like another mini civilian launch. Obviously, there is one cosmonaut on board, but yes, we've got two civilians.
It's exciting. I think the best quote I heard from Inspiration 4 is that space is now open for business, and then off the back of that, we're seeing another almost private crewed launch, and it really sort of echoes that sentiment that space is now open for business and that it is a tourist industry. I'm genuinely excited for what the future holds within spaceflight.
Yeah, definitely. With now in the last obviously month, we've had started last month. We've now got 5 private citizens going into space.
It's mind blowing to think because growing up, you've been a space fan a long time, just like I have. And growing up, it was always like these superhuman astronauts that were going to space, and it was like, you needed to be the best of the best to become an astronaut, and then you needed to be the best in class to get to space. And now, that doesn't seem true anymore.
No. With obviously growing up and watching. Yeah, the astronauts go up and having your space heroes and cheering them on and saying, geez, I wish I could do that. Anyone these days, younger kids growing up, can do that. So my time's probably come and gone, but there's plenty more behind me that obviously can enjoy space.
Yeah.
Just got to work hard and get there.
I think the younger generations are going to appreciate space a lot more than sort of our generation, really. But it's still exciting. I mean, like I've always said, as a communicator, it's about inspiring the next generation. That's why I do YouTube. It's why we do outreach work with schools and things like that. To really convey to the next generation that this is a thing, and you don't need to just rewatch Apollo moon landing footage to see human space flight. It's here, it's now, and if you focus your attention from a school age now, then the possibilities are endless, and that includes space flight. Like that's not just limited to space flight. If you wanted to become president or any number of industries on Earth, that's possible. But I mean, for me, I like the idea of inspiring, even if it was just one person to get on a rocket when they're old enough to be able to do so, and go to space and get that experience of a lifetime.
I totally agree. I think when we were chatting the other day, I just said to you that I wish I had taken flying lessons when I was younger. You never know from that point in time in your life what it could lead to. So that's probably one of my regrets. I know I probably can do it now, being an older, wiser, more cashed up person. But if I was younger and had to do my time over again, yeah, I definitely would love to fly planes.
I was looking at flight lessons just a couple of weeks ago, so I know that sentiment. Be out of my price range just yet, but hopefully something I can do at a later point.
Yeah, so exciting times, yeah, for the younger generation. And all those who inspire to do things now, just, do them.
For sure. We are taking questions in the live chat, guys. Feel free to pop a question, either tag myself at Total Space or Stinger NSW, and we will do our best to answer your questions. If you've just joined us, like I see a couple of people have, we're streaming a Soyuz 2.1A launch from the Baikonur Cosmodrome, and we are seeing 1 commander and 2 private citizens fly to the International Space Station.
So, just reading up on the overall mission. So, the mission in essence is to take a film crew up to the ISS for a week, I believe, to film a movie called The Challenge. So, and that's with obviously I think the movie was about a doctor who had to fly to the ISS to save an astronaut's life, which sounds interesting. I'll watch it. They got subtitles. They're going to do it in Russian.
Yeah.
And I believe they will be then heading back on the MS-18 spacecraft with one of the current Russian cosmonauts on board.
Yeah.
And the one that's flying up today, Anton, will obviously be staying on, and he'll obviously be returning at a later date. So, yeah, very interesting mission. And a lot of musical chairs, obviously, to accommodate this flight.
Very much a case of musical chairs. I know we've seen the MS-18 spacecraft repark itself to the International Space Station about a week ago.
Yeah, that was to the newly inserted module. Yes, correct, the first time.
And, I mean, the International Space Station just all of a sudden seems busy. When they first built it, it was just like there were occasional visits, and then they were like, yeah, we're going to put a constant manned presence there, and the shuttle ended, and we saw a drop-in crew, and now it just seems like all of a sudden there's this bustling hub of life in low Earth orbit.
Well, it gets busier next year with Axiom going to space with their 4 crew on SpaceX
On
Dragon. So, yeah.
The AX-1 mission, that, isn't it?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, so that's going up in February of 2022. So, yeah, the International Space Station is getting a lot of attention, not only with the good work that they do on science missions and obviously being present in low Earth orbit. There's a lot to look forward. And maybe, who knows, Tom Cruise might end up there soon.
I think
Still no word on when that's going to happen, but I'm sure it'll be in the planning stages.
I think you touched on something important there. A lot of people think about a space flight and they just assume that it is just astronauts going to space. They don't necessarily look past that unless they're a space nerd, but there is an incredible amount of science done 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on the orbiting laboratory, isn't there? You know,
yeah, 100%. 100%. And the fact that CSR 23 came back with a load of completed science experiments is obviously a testament on how many experiments they actually do carry out and obviously return back to Earth.
Yeah, and a lot of that does benefit over the years of the the orbiting laboratory. We've seen so many good things that do benefit life on Earth that it's overwhelming. Like I was reading down a list just yesterday, and there's things like fibre optic cabling. If you make fibre optic cabling on orbit, it's clearer than it is on Earth. And so theoretically you make faster internet if you make the cables in space. We've got things like 3D printed organs. Like worldwide, the amount of people that are waiting for organ donation is just preposterous numbers. You know, a lot of governments in a lot of countries are asking for organ donors because of that. And the ability to 3D print organs on orbit that that science payloads are currently testing on the International Space Station will give people on Earth a better quality of life within the next 10 years as it becomes more viable to do so. And that in itself is just amazing. Think about the amount of lives that are going to be saved from just that one science experiment.
Yeah, exactly. Always love the good work they do. Always love reading up on the science experiments. Always enjoy watching a launch to the ISS, regardless which country's actually doing it. There's humans on board these launches, so always Godspeed to all of them.
Yeah, and that's the thing. A lot of channels aren't necessarily streaming Roscosmos launches and things like that. There are some channels that are focusing on, say, Starship launches or American exclusive launches. You know, here at Total Space, we are trying to cover as many as we can. We're very much focused on Team Space, the idea of everybody that's in the space industry. It's an amazing achievement. As you say, this is a crewed flight, regardless of whether that's America or Russia that's doing it. There's still 3 people on board a giant firework.
100%. So, yeah, I always get nervous with the crewed launches. Obviously, they're nail biting, but obviously Russia's done a lot of launches, and obviously SpaceX now are in the business of launching crewed flights. So but still always nervous.
But very much so. I mean, they are, in my opinion at least, Roscosmos are the world leader in manned space flight. They've got so many reliable launchers under the belt. I would imagine not the most comfortable a ride.
Now that you say that, it reminds me of whoever's watching on the live stream, Big Bang Theory. If you watch that, you might or might not. And with the character Howard going up to the International Space Station on the Soyuz, that's every time I see that episode or that series where he's going into space is, I think, the best series, because it just brings the whole, I suppose, space into perspective in a funny way.
Yeah.
So, always think of that episode when he's launching inside the Soyuz and sandwiched between 2 beefier, Russians. Yeah. Yeah. Or Russians. He was a skinny little rat, but 2 big Russians. Yeah. I think the last time I remember, probably 3 years ago, I think one of the Soyuz missions had to abort, and it had an American astronaut on board at that time. Let me see if I can see it. Nick Hague was on it at that time, and they had to abort due to the rocket booster separation failure.
Yeah.
So they had to engage the launch abort system. So I think that's the only one that comes to memory for me. In recent times, I don't think there has been, like you said, any major mishaps throughout the history of the Soyuz. But that was 3 years ago.
It'd be good to see the next generation of Soyuz, because they are working on reusability, and I think that's the key going forward for any launch provider. You know, we've seen SpaceX do it, and I know that we are quite SpaceX fanboys here at Total Space. We all, especially Stinger, if you haven't checked his SpaceX website out, if it's not already in the description, I will make sure it's in the description after this live event.
I've got 2 actually, Aaron. I've got one that I focus on boosters because I love the SpaceX boosters, and I have a general web page for SpaceX in general that I just try to keep date. The good part about that one that I'm starting to enjoy is updating the Dragon Riders page, that website.
Yeah.
So at present we've got 14, and at the end of this month we'll have 18.
The irony of that, you're like, oh, there's 14, and at the end of this month there's going to be 18. By next year, you'll need an entire server to host the amount of people that have rode that Dragon to space.
Yeah, 100%. But no, I'm actually excited every time I see a SpaceX launch. I get excited with the Roscosmos ones as well, because they do have some good views with their launches, especially with the big flamed trench that they have. So, yeah.
Just a
Yeah,
giant.
and
Go on, sorry, I was interrupting.
that's all right. It's just the launch when they had that camera angle and from the launch from the flame trench. It's just and the rocket going up is just spectacular. I love watching those when people post them on Twitter.
Yeah. Giant crater in the middle of Kazakhstan that's just got this. I mean, it's like for me, I've never been up close and personal to a rocket. I'm aware of the size, but I think like a lot of people see them on the internet like I do, and they can't really imagine just how much of a mighty piece of equipment these things are.
Definitely, yeah, yeah, in awe. So that's why I'm itching to get to Boca Chica one day. Oh, I've been there, but again, once COVID restrictions are obviously lifted, so I can head back to Boca Chica and hopefully see a Starship.
And the Starship, for anybody curious, is going to be the world's biggest rocket. Like, it's just going to make even the Saturn V look small.
Yeah, I mean, I only saw a test tank, so and little hoppy, so dying to see a Starship, and obviously the goal would be to see a Starship on a booster, super heavy booster.
Very much so. That's my goal as well. We shall one day meet in Boca Chica and drink lots of coffee and excitement.
Do a lot of things in Boca Chica, yeah, 100%. I don't know. I could sit out there all day. I suppose, like Max, just be a SpaceX groupie. I suppose join in all the fun,
I think
excitement. Yeah,
there's a small army of people standing out there daily now, isn't there? Like, I know when you went to Boca Chica in March of last year, was it February, March of last year?
Yeah, it was March of last year, yeah.
I know that at that point it wasn't necessarily as popular. Like, you know, I see, from my perspective at least, I know there was one or two people that were down there daily. For certain YouTube channels and content creators, but I think we've just seen an absolute explosion, not only in the workforce at Starbase, but the gathering around the excitement of what Elon Musk's proposing for the future. Like, I personally know at least 5 people in the States that have moved to Boca Chica as a full-time resident in the area, you know, like Brownsville.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah, it is. Like, if I had the opportunity to go to Kazakhstan, I'd definitely do it as well. I would like that adventure. Haven't thought about it that deeply, but yeah, I would go to Kazakhstan as well.
I think I mean it's almost as historic as Pad 39A in my opinion is the Cosmodrome at Kazakhstan. Like, you know, so space nerds will talk about the history of Pad 39A, how it did the Apollo missions, it did the shuttle missions, and now it's hosting SpaceX missions. But I think a lot of people forget that the Russians had an amazing amount of it. Sorry, not necessarily the Soviet Union, and now moving forward, Roscosmos have had some absolutely amazing milestones, and they were the first at a lot of space activities from that very launch pad.
Exactly. Rich history. That's what, and I do like history. I mean, even when we were at the Cape and we went on the organised tours that they had, I was just loving the history. So yeah, I'm a history buff, regardless of who's involved. If I had the opportunity, like I said, and I could learn more or be a part of the experience of being at a launch site like Kazakhstan, I would definitely love to do it. So something probably in the future when I give up my day job and retire, yeah, definitely on the cards. Do a whirlwind trip of every rocket facility that I can on the way seeing my friends.
That sounds like a really good plan.
Yeah, sometime in the future, not that far away.
And at some point in the future, that list of active launch sites will include the UK. So it means that...
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, there's always something new being proposed, even in Australia. But when that happens, it happens. Like I will go over to New Zealand and see a rocket lab launch when I can. That's only a 3-hour flight for me. Definitely would love to do that. So yeah, F1 and rockets, living the dream.
I think since me and Miko recorded the Rocket Lab video, I mean, like, I wanted to visit Rocket Lab, but it was not necessarily as much as, say, like, I want to go to Boca Chica, and I really want to go to Boca Chica. Like, I'd do unspeakable things for a chance to go to Boca Chica. But since recording that video, I always felt like my passion for Rocket Labs has increased, and I'd absolutely love to go down there and see. Because, I mean, it is an incredible little rocket, the Electron, isn't it?
Yeah.
My
definitely. Yeah, well, Neutron is obviously under development, and obviously they'll be launching out of the States, so we'll have to go over anyhow to watch a launch out of Wallops for the Neutron.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Odie Backer. Regular face in the chat. I'm glad to see you here. This is much better than going to bed. Like, there's bed. Oh, there's a launch in about 4.5 minutes. I know which I choose, and you made the right call, my friend. I'm glad to see you here.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. Yeah, well, for me, it's just before 8:00 p.m. on the east coast of Australia. So I'm in New South Wales state, so it's a good time for a launch before I head off to bed and wake up in the morning and watch all the videos posted or all the tweets posted on Twitter.
All of the hype that gets posted. It's currently morning time for me, hence the coffee. Gotta have the coffee on a morning.
Always love my coffee in the morning, but nearly time for bed. Even though coffee doesn't keep me awake, I can't wait till the morning when I make my first cuppa.
I think coffee is the java of life. Like, I know that I've got quite a reputation amongst the total space guys for being that guy. I think Miko is just Arizona going on 2 a.m. for Odie Backer. Damn, 2 a.m. I think.
Okay. Yeah, 2 a.m. Odie Backers. And Miko has just said that NASA is also live.
Yeah. I think quite a lot of the time there's not really that much benefit to switching to the NASA stream. They'll generally restream the Roscosmos launch. Sometimes they do, however, have English speakers on NASA TV, so I can't check it out though, because if I do, my audio is going to push right through to the stream.
Well, since you're pushing all the buttons, Aaron, I'll let you take care of all of that.
I can. It is less newsroom on the NASA stream. So what we're going to do is we're going to plumb the NASA stream in there.
Here we go.
And then, so we're going to switch over to the NASA stream. They've got some more of the rockety views than we've currently got from Roscosmos. Bing! Kind of like that.
Very good.
We're going to bring the audio up. They are due to launch very soon.
Okay. There's no lunch down clock on that one, is there?
There is no countdown clock on this one.
No. Oh, I'll just pick it up on mine. Not that far away now.
But we are
around
about a minute and a half.
The ground propellant feed now has been terminated. The Soyuz about to go on internal power.
There we go. NASA giving us countdown.
Very good.
We are about a minute and a half away from launch. About 30 seconds from now, we usually like to switch over to full screen. I say that like I've got it already or something.
T-minus 1 minute.
1 minute, there we go. We are going to switch over to full screen once I've got my stuff together.
And just like that.
And just like that. You ready, Stinger? You want to give the magic command? You just say abracadabra.
Go.
Tower from booster.
No, it looks like a nice day. There goes the
The first umbilical now retracting.
power retracting. Yeah, let's go.
T-minus 19 seconds. T-minus 19
They're in for a ride of their lives.
Retracting this initiates the auto sequence start for engine ignition. Now retracting this initiates the auto sequence start for engine ignition.
Second umbilical tower set free. Engine turbo pump set.
Do they usually show inboard?
Coming up to flight speed and liftoff.
Here we go.
Ignition, turbo pumps coming up to flight speed and
Beautiful.
an actress and her producer of Soyuz beginning a journey to the International Space Station. And her producer beginning a journey to the International Space Station.
All parameters are nominal.
Good roll, pitch and yaw program are in.
All parameters are nominal.
Good roll, pitch and yaw program are in.
Thrusters are functioning nominally.
Good first stage performance. 33 seconds into the flight, the International Space Station now flying directly over the Baikonur Cosmodrome.
It is nominal. 40 seconds.
The Soyuz booster arcing out to the northeast. To
Beautiful
an orbit
looking day.
51.6 degrees inclined to the equator.
Clear as.
Very good day for a
50
launch.
seconds into the flight. The pressure in the chambers is
Yeah.
nominal.
Jets.
Before the launch, I was just asking, do they normally show inboard on the Soyuz launches?
Your enroll on
They
Now passing through maximum dynamic pressure on the vehicle.
I mean, they sometimes do. I think it's more once all the you want to how you got some stuff's done.
Nominal.
Um,
So we,
but not as
feeling
much safe
a
footage
little
as
bit
we
of
get with the
vibration
SpaceX launch.
and,
There we go.
Yeah, here we go.
also,
There we go. There's the stick. Love the stick.
Anton Shkaplerov with the pointer to his left.
Always amazes me, that stick.
90 seconds into the flight.
I'm sure there's a technical name for it.
Second stage
He's
thrusters
very
are
much a
firing
product of
nominally.
the Soviet era.
We have
Stick.
schedule parameters.
It's a prodder.
Seconds into the flight.
It doubles up as a 0G, doesn't it?
110 seconds.
When wasn't Yulia bringing up a
First stage separation.
0G indicator as well?
I
And
believe
first
so.
stage separation
Look at
confirmed.
that.
Yeah,
Beautiful
yeah.
booster separation.
762 is the pressure in the thermal control loop, copy nominal.
Have we got any idea what the
Vehicle stabilization
0G
It's
Good
indicator
vehicle
intake
stability
is?
reported from the blockhouse.
Yeah, it's a bird. It's a type of bird. It's a
miles an altitude,
Glock.
35 miles
Glockenbach.
from the Baikonur
I see it.
Cosmodrome,
It's
traveling
a
almost
little bluebird, isn't it?
5,000 miles an hour.
yeah, bluebird. Okay, have we got separation?
150
2 minutes,
Cross.
40
We've had
seconds
the
into the
Korolov's
flight.
cross.
Yes.
The shroud
Coming upon separation.
is jettisoned.
Yeah, but they didn't show it from on board. They just showed it now. Obviously flooding,
Automated
heading back to
descent
Earth.
flag. Copy.
A good view.
170 seconds.
Nice.
180 seconds. The
Vehicle stable. Good motion control parameters as we pass the 3-minute mark into the flight.
We are seeing the video from the external camera.
See, here's the
200
question,
seconds into the
Stinger.
flight.
Would you rather ride the Soyuz or the Dragon?
Second stage
Dragon.
shutdown will come
I didn't hesitate.
Didn't even need to ask.
This view from a camera on the upper stage.
But if someone gave me a free flight on either one of them, yeah, I would definitely say the Dragon. But if it wasn't available to me free, and the Russian said, "Here you go, you want a free ride?" I wouldn't say no.
The crew is feeling fine.
It's cramped, but it's quite quick, isn't it? Like the Dragon takes much longer to get to the ISS, but you've just got like more leg room
into the flight.
More amenities.
From the blockhouse in Baikonur.
Yeah, they've got an express trajectory to the ISS. It's a 3-hour time frame, so they'll be there a lot quicker than the Dragon.
Nominal on board. Copy as stated.
Mine floating, going around the Earth for 20 odd hours.
I mean, it's still not a bad thing, is it? 20 hours in a Dragon.
4.5 minutes.
You need to run Astro Road. If your boss asks why you're late, then just tell him it's my fault. We were doing Space Nerd stuff.
Yeah.
280 seconds into flight.
I agree, Miko. Those views are absolutely gorgeous. I love seeing Earth.
And we have second stage separation. Soyuz traveling almost 10,000 miles an hour, 97 miles in altitude, 287 miles downrange from Baikonur.
310 seconds.
5 minutes, 15 seconds into the flight.
No one feeling nostalgic? I think it's nostalgic enough looking at the Soyuz, isn't it? It's been the workhorse of an industry for years at this point.
Great views at the moment.
We're going to get some arm shakes. Woo. We just need the ice cream. So we've been doing a lot of arm shakes and ice cream on live streams recently.
As we hit the 5-minute 46-second mark.
Well, if I had some ice cream, I'll get it, but
powered flight remaining.
Don't have any ice cream.
Yeah. I also don't have any ice cream. I know if Astro Liz is watching this back, she's going to be upset. I can give you the arm shakes at least, but no ice cream.
Oh, good. Probably for the next launch, we'll have to order in some ice cream.
Seconds of flight.
Yeah. That will be the plan.
Roll pitch in your nominal.
So how much are they going to show of this until they actually separate?
Not very much more.
Generally? Yeah, I was going to say, they generally don't show that much more.
To be excellent.
Well, so the thing is, Miko, the vegan ice cream came in and went almost instantly. It's a popular treat in my house because
all systems are nominal.
Well, it's just nice stuff. Like little man's trying to go vegan, although he calls himself a chickatarian, which means the only meat he's eating is chicken.
Chickatarian.
Chickatarian, his words, not mine.
Okay, well that's a new one. I haven't heard that one before.
I mean, if it works, it works. I've always just said to him, like, you know, despite me going plant-based, that doesn't necessarily mean he has to go plant-based.
7-minute, 15-second mark into the flight.
And he's making a good effort.
You
know, that includes things like the vegan ice cream that comes in and goes almost immediately out. Miko, like, it's weird because I'm on a plant-based diet and then I have to fight for the plant-based food with little man because he's also really enjoying it, apart from the occasional bits of chicken.
Okay, we've got to the CGI now.
We've got the CGI.
Oh, no, crossing over. Yeah, well, they're still trying to pick up some ground stations.
Yeah. They try to get fair comments to them. This is a bit more footage than we usually get from Lost Cosmos, so...
Correct.
Soyuz continues to fly straight as an arrow, everything in good shape.
A flight, please have POVK ready. For 80 seconds of flight, parameters are nominal. Do you have the POVK ready?
I don't have an actual timeline, so I'm just going, so obviously...
What is it with you finishing
5
licorice,
seconds of
Miko?
flight. Is Povica ready?
Everything's just got licorice in. I know, like he said before, he was eating like the equivalent of taffy. It was very much finished, and he's had like
Get ready
licorice coffees
for
and...
separation.
Oh, we've got a separation coming up.
Okay.
5:20 seconds of flight.
Everything has to have it. But I mean, like, is it just like that you
third stage
like how
shutdown
much?
is confirmed,
Oh,
and
there we go,
spacecraft
look at that.
There we go. Yep, there it is. Good view.
Very nice.
Excellent.
Third stage separate.
Like, I would imagine that Finland consumes
Next
more
step will be
licorice
the
than
deployment of
anywhere
the,
else
solar rays that you
worldwide
now see
on a
unfurling.
year-by-year basis. That was
There goes
such a
the-
nice shot of those solar arrays.
Yep. Very good. Beautiful.
And we now have confirmation of the deployment of the solar rays and the navigational antennas as planned.
How copy? We copy. And good day to you. We are ready to listen to your report about how you're feeling, guys.
Yeah, I was eating
So this is us.
chocolate-covered
We're
licorice
feeling
today.
great. Everything's
So
working nominally. We're
we call them
working
bullets.
For page 35, third stage
Yeah,
separation
bullets.
went
So
nominally, and
short
this
size
is
licorice with covered
no
in
longer illuminated, and we are
milk
closing
chocolate.
Arpa,
Yeah, love those.
I'm sure Miko
And-
will be
1 and
looking
2.
for a pack of bullets because of the licorice
Please move on
contents.
to page 35.
Yeah, and you can actually get the raspberry in the raspberry and in the normal black licorice as well. So, yeah, enjoy those. Actually, got to head to the shops and get some more because I scoffed the last ones down just before I came on.
So it was a flawless ascent to orbit for the Soyuz MS-19.
Nice view of the
Everything
Earth.
went by the book. Liftoff occurring
Miko's
on
saying
time
we
at
have bullets
3:55
too,
and 2
but
seconds
sure
AM
could try
Central
some
Time,
Australian ones.
which was 1:55 p.m.
Okay, well, I have to shoot you some through.
8 minutes and 46 seconds later, third stage shutdown on the Soyuz
Pardon the pun.
1A booster
Uh-huh.
and
Shoot
Soyuz
bullets.
separation from the third stage with the solar
We can
rays
arrange something, Miko, no problem.
having been deployed. The chase is
Just
on.
an excuse to go to
Two-orbit
Australia and
rendezvous
visit
upcoming
Stinger
for
isn't it,
Anton
Miko?
Shkaplerov, Klim Shipenko, and Yulia.
Well, they're not letting anyone in quite yet, but he's always welcome down under.
8:15.
You're both welcome down under, anytime.
Bow
I
pressure.
will take you up on that offer, likely next year at some point.
736.
Well, we're here. I'm not going anywhere yet.
Compartment 893.
But we'll see when the borders open, or how the world changes in travel, because obviously it's going to be a new experience for everyone. Travelling around the globe in the COVID world.
It's a very different world going forward, isn't it? Like, I know
Astray,
when
MCC Moscow.
originally things started to unfold,
We have
I don't think
13
anybody could
selection of the
predict what was to
two
come over the next
illuminated.
18
Could you please repeat bow
Yeah,
pressure?
definitely. Wow, that's a good view, isn't it?
Bow
The
pressure
Earth
is
spinning.
very nice.
836. Copy.
Yeah.
836.
Oh, you see something just fly off and then bounce off?
Please,
I did.
stand by,
Yeah, I'm sure it's nothing, but it looked funny.
RDR command has
Just looked like
and,
you know,
please
ping
monitor
pong.
the
Ping
process.
pong.
Ping pong.
So the Soyuz MS-19
That's a very good view.
3 occupants, including
I was just about to say that the
producer
ground coverage has been good, and now obviously they've lost it.
12
So
days filming a movie titled
back to mission
Challenge.
control.
That's a mission control.
Well, that was a very nice launch. Excellent launch. Great views.
Sequence. A series of
Yeah.
pre-programmed
And obviously they're on their way to the ISS.
raise the Soyuz
So
altitude to match that of the
I
international.
wonder when the film camera actually comes out.
This fast two-orbit rendezvous is the third being executed.
Closed for docking will probably come out.
Some of the
Yeah.
launch replays coming to us from.
Take care,
Baikonur.
Odie, and thank you for
Yeah.
stopping by as always, my friend. It's always great to see returning faces.
Display
Sleep well, and we will
Thank
see you
you.
in the next one.
and
Thank you for joining us.
Docking is scheduled at 7:12 a.m. Central Time, 8:12 a.m. Eastern Time.
Yeah, like I was saying,
As, the,
yeah, I wonder when the
Soyuz
filming
MS-19,
starts. I would probably
makes
presume
its way slowly but surely
just
will
before
link up to the
or just
Latviad module
after they
on the
dock,
Earth-facing side of the Russian
to obviously
segment
get
of
that
the International Space Station.
maybe a little bit before they dock and they have to concentrate on docking. I don't know. But it'll be interesting to see the final cut after this all gets made into the movie that they're obviously shooting.
No longer have indicator mode illuminated.
It was good to see the Inspiration 4 on Netflix and obviously how that all came about. So this will be interesting, not in a documentary way, but in obviously a movie-making way.
I mean, it's incredible. Like you say, we've had documentaries, and this is now we're transitioning to movies, and I mean things like the Axiom space station that are planned.
Yeah.
You know, like all these exciting space activities coming from the commercialisation of space, and I think we're just on the cusp of it, so the everyman isn't quite aware. They're seeing, you know, the headlines for Inspiration 4 and a couple of other bits, I would imagine, in Russia and relevant countries around there. This will be big news. This is like the equivalent of Inspiration 4, realistically, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it's exciting to know that we're progressing towards this world where you can shoot a movie in space. I mean, how cool is that, the idea of shooting a movie in space?
Yeah, well, just on the funny side of it, it's no Austin Powers, is it?
Yeah, this is very much
yeah. Oh, very good.
So that's the stream concluded from them.
Yep.
That means we are going to conclude our coverage as well. But thank you for joining us, everybody. And if you're not already subscribed, feel free to do so. It really helps. Visit the website, totalspace.net, and we love our Patreon supporters. We cannot say enough nice things. Without those guys, it wouldn't be possible to do what we're doing. I'm not going to plug too much more. Thank you for joining. Hit the thumbs up button. Any last words, Stinger?
I just want to say thank you very much for the Total Space Network for having me on, and yourself, Aaron. Thank you for letting me join in this stream. Very enjoyable, right time of the night for me. And to everyone, thank you for joining us.
Take care.